Moorlands Radio Sport, in association with Leek Building Society.
So, Josh, we expected a difficult match, and you certainly had one today, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. It's never easy to come to Hanley, and then to concede a goal in the first couple of minutes makes it a really difficult day. I'm stood on the sideline at that point going, we need to stay calm. We spoke about emotional control before the game anyway, and that was, a real plus point, not only to come in at 2-1 up, but actually the way that we managed that, settled ourselves down, and worked two really good goals. Obviously, I know one was from the penalty, but again, the way we constructed the penalty was, massively linked to how we want to do things in terms of our own possession sort of philosophy and the way of playing. So I was dead pleased with getting in at 2-1, and then I think it's really difficult to come out and kind of continue in that vein. Goals and momentum changes things in football, doesn't it? And when you've got something to hold on to, it almost, you almost start to play with a bit more pressure on you, and maybe stop sort of doing some of the things that we were doing well in the first half that got us into the areas that we were in. Cause I don't remember Hanley really getting into our box in the first half, obviously, other than scoring the goal. But we had so many chances still in the second half, clearly. Obviously, if it goes 3-1 earlier on, Aaron obviously had a great chance. There was other moments. I remember Robbie getting in at the back post, didn't quite connect. Kari had a chance. And numerous opportunities still. Whilst it is 2-1, that you're only one mistake, one moment away from it being level. Dino's made a couple of good interventions, one really key save I can recall, and obviously it was brilliant at the end to get that third, just to make those last 2 minutes a bit nicer.
Yeah, for us on the sidelines, and I don't know what it was like for you in the dugout, but it seemed though for the first 20 minutes or so, you were struggling to get into the game. You were working your way into the game, but overhitting the ball forwards, final pass not really good enough, and experienced defenders in front of you. Yeah. And so they were making it really difficult for you. Yeah. But in midfield, I think you were controlling that. You were nipping in, you were winning the ball, but you weren't getting the final ball. Yeah,
no, exactly that. And we knew that we had to be patient on that front. Sometimes that was linked to decision making, but also I think another sort of key aspect there is not getting too frustrated. They're incredibly good at what they do, and when they go 1-0 up, invariably they win. More than they don't. And teams have still got to come here and will make it a really, really difficult. These will make it a really difficult game for them. There's no doubt about that. But no, I'd agree with that to a point. But I felt like we sustained our attacks. It wasn't an end-to-end game. I never felt like we were opening ourselves up to go 2-0 down as such, even though both fullbacks got on and were quite expansive with it. So I was always confident that if we continued to do the right things, the chances would come. I was just obviously really pleased that we managed to get the goals when we did, because that was key.
Yeah, in the end they made the mistake of it was a clear penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was. We obviously got the ball into Aaron, and Robbie and Aaron were playing close together in there, and obviously he's just swiped the leg out, thinking maybe he'd make a clearance, and obviously caught Robbie. And I'm pleased for Robbie to obviously put that penalty away. It was a really, really well taken penalty as well. And obviously the header as well, the back post was fantastic. Yeah,
I was going to say that the second goal was a great goal.
Great ball in. And
you could have settled everything so much earlier though, couldn't you? Poku, unfortunately, Aaron's just going through that phase, isn't he?
Yeah, he absolutely is. But what he offers to the team is ultimately why he's picked. Because he does offer something completely different. He's a constant foil. He's such a threat. I actually think he gives free kicks away that aren't free kicks at times as well. I feel like he suffers as a result of being the size that he is, having the frame that he's got, and I think he gets picked on at times. I think sometimes he's just using his body, he's using his sort of innate strength that he has, and there's times when he gets penalised for stuff that I don't think's right. But no, he's linking it really well for us at the moment. I thought he did that well on Tuesday night as well at Town, and that was why obviously I went with him today, and knowing then that you've always got the goal threat of Bryce to come off the bench. I mean, what an option to have. So yeah, that was the way we chose to go today, and I'm pleased with Aaron's contribution. I would have loved for him to obviously get that get that goal. And I just know that obviously when he gets one, that he'll no doubt hit a purple patch and they'll come for him.
I'm sure he will. But in the end, the third goal did come. I think that's the third hat-trick of the season for Rob.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's really cracking the goals in, isn't he? 23 now in all competitions.
I actually had a chat with him on Tuesday. It was always my intention to get him some game time on Tuesday. He obviously didn't play in the Senior Cup in the round before. We used that as an opportunity to rest him. But I always wanted to give him some minutes, and I know what he's like. He'd gone maybe 4 games or something like that without scoring before Tuesday night. I know what he's like, you know, that would have been playing on his mind, and obviously he went on, and I could see he was licking his lips to go and play on that pitch, on that new surface, and he went on, obviously scored 2, and then 4 days later he's come along and got himself another 3. So yeah, he's been absolutely incredible for us this season, and like I said, 23 goals is an amazing return.
And certainly a neutral couldn't deny you or decry the fact you got a third goal. You deserved a 3-1 win, really, didn't you?
I think on the balance the chances created, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
So 10 more games, league games left, 10 more cup finals.
Yeah, and all we can do is take one at a time, and obviously there's a huge one next week with the with Linnets coming along first v second. Obviously we've put ourselves in a position, you know, by winning today, which is, again, we've said we've just got to concentrate on us, whereby we go into that game next week now with a little bit less pressure on us because of the little cushion, but clearly, you know, we're not daft. You know, that cushion can quite quickly be wiped out with the challenging fixture list that we've got between now and the end of the season. You mentioned, you know, 10 games. You know, we've got some well, every game's going to be difficult. You know, at the end of the day, we've had difficult games against Trafford, Vauxhall and Hanley, who are 3 of the bottom 5 or something like that. So, you know, make no bones about it, every game's difficult. But yeah, when you actually look at the fixture list and where the teams are ranked in the league that we've got to come and play against, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be really, really hard. And yeah, obviously, Runcorn Linnets know what they've got to come and do.
And they've got to come out and win. A draw is no good for them, really, is it? They've got to come in for a win.
Yeah, 100%. And at the same time, you know, we want to win the game. You know, it's the same as when we played against Prescott the other week. We went to Prescott wanting to win the game, but knowing that we didn't have to win the game. In the end, we won the game. Exactly the same next week. We want something. We're going to set up to try and win the game of football, because you know that's you know, why wouldn't we? Our home form's been really, really strong, and obviously Runcorn in good form as well. So I'm sure it'll make for a really entertaining game.
One last comment about today's game. It turned very feisty in the last 15 minutes or so. You must be congratulating your players that they didn't really get involved in it too much.
Yeah. Well, again, emotional control very important. Spoke about that before the game. We referred back to the game we played against Hanley at our place earlier in the season. I think they had 9 yellow cards on the day and a red. So we spoke about that, the importance of retaining our focus, our discipline. We don't need to get involved in things that ultimately are outside of our control. There were a couple of, you know, naughty tackles or challenges that obviously the referees dealt with in the way in which he felt was the right way to deal with it. But yes, I'm really pleased with the way that the players sort of handled themselves in that and didn't get sort of too involved, because again, losing focus and concentration can result in a ball going in the back of your goal. So, you know, we did really well on that front. Well,
congratulations, that undefeated run has gone another match.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave.
Cheers.
Moorlands Radio Sport, in association with Leek Building Society.